Greatest Classic Films collection. Available now for a great price at shop.tcm.com, Barnes & Noble Movies and Music Locations, and bn.com.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. I'm here right now with author and film archivist Brent Phillips, an expert on the career of MGM director and choreographer Charles Walters, who's the subject of this month's Friday Night Spotlight on TCM. Welcome back, Brent.
Thank you.
Now, this next film stars Leslie Caron and brought Charles Walters a great unexpected gift, an Academy Award nomination for his direction. It's a delightful film, Lili, from 1953.
Yes.
Let's talk a little about the history of this film. Now, we so far tonight have been talking about musicals that Chuck Walters directed,
yes.
And this has music in it, but it's not really what you call a musical.
Yes, I think that puzzles people. They want to come to it thinking it's going to be a musical.
Because Leslie Caron is a musical star.
And it has a famous song in it, Hi Lily, Hi Lo. And it does have 2 ballets in it.
Right.
But I think people think it's going to be a big musical, and
right.
It's not. It's a really small, sort of a tender, fragile film that if you're waiting for, you know, razzmatazz, it's not going to happen.
Is this something he was assigned, or did he help find the property? How did it come about?
He was assigned to it. It had first gone to Vincent Minnelli, and he said no. And so Chuck did it, and it was a film. It's probably one of the most personal films in Charles Walters' career, because the studio sort of lost interest in it. Dory Sherry certainly didn't care about it, and Chuck fought almost every step of the way. The ballets were supposed to be big, grandiose, American in Paris type ballets, and Chuck said no. This little girl, these are her dream ballets. She's not going to dream about big pink tutus and everything being perfect. She just is going to dream about herself and the magician that she's in love with. So he fought to try to keep it within this really almost poetic framework. And the studio basically sort of, they almost didn't release the film.
Right.
Yeah, and basically they had shown it to executives in New York, and it was still unfinished at that time, and they all sort of put a thumbs down. It almost got shelved. And Harry Brandt, who was the president of the Independent Theater Owners, basically watched it and loved it. And he said, okay, Dory, I will release this film as long as I have an exclusive on it. And Dory Sherry was happy to find a distributor for it. And so it went to New York. They had their first preview. The film was a smash. And of course, Harry Brandt, they had to buy the film back from him in order to distribute Lili. And Harry Brandt said, but I still want the exclusive. I still get to play it in New York. And so Lili played at the Translux 52 on 52nd and Lexington for 10 consecutive months of exclusive box office. And it kind of is one of those Dory Sherry blunders.
Right, but it had time in that long run to also have great word of mouth.
Yeah, and the studio was learning how to place a small film like Lili into smaller theaters and give it the type of build-up that it would before. Before, these sort of almost art house pictures were kind of a disdainful classification at MGM. And this one being about a girl and puppets and everything else, you know, they just didn't want to do anything. But when they realized what they had and the reviews, I mean, I think somebody had to just go to a thesaurus and keep on finding the words everlasting joy, poetic vision, all these things. It ended up on almost every 10 best list, and it was nominated for 6 Academy Awards.
Yes. Does he have make an appearance in this movie?
He absolutely does. Jean-Pierre Aumont plays the magician, Marcus the Magician, in the film. And there's a number called the Adoration Ballet, which is Zsa Zsa Gabor and Leslie Caron and Jean-Pierre. Jean-Pierre couldn't dance. As Chuck said, he had 4 left feet. So in all of the long shots, that's actually Chuck Walters. Whenever you see him doing some dancing from the background, Chuck put on the magician's costume, he put on a little blonde wig, and so all of the magnificent dancing that Jean-Pierre Aumont is doing is actually the magnificent dancing of Charles Walters.
That's fun.
Yes, it's almost a little Hitchcock moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's see the movie. Here it is. Movie with a cast that also includes, as he said, Jean-Pierre Aumont, also Mel Ferrer, and Zsa Zsa Gabor. Who'd ever expect a movie with Zsa Zsa Gabor in a ballet? Here from 1953, Lili.